I have always had a garden. It was challenging, but a relaxing pastime that expanded over the years. It allowed me to eat fresh, and I liked doing it. But this time, it feels different. Each journey to the grocery store is a new trauma. So this year is different because I've decided to get more of my food from that garden. I'm not thinking I'll starve, but my plan this year is to thrive and let the world around me do what it will. I'll give myself credit for setting up systems like rainwater collection and building raised beds that I've kept simple. But I decided to go for even better odds by selecting heat-tolerant plants that can withstand the intense Florida sun while producing crops that I can store over winter to keep eating. My starts have reached a size where I can transplant them, but I needed to employ my secret weapon to give each plant a good start, and that is leaf mulch. Decomposed leaves provide nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that improve soil fertility and structure. I'm not just talking about putting leaves over each bed, because it takes a while for leaves to break down. So, the sooner the leaves break down, the faster the soil and plants will benefit. To speed up that process, I like to apply a layer of ground-up leaves to each bed as a means of fertilizing, and then follow up later with another layer of regular leaves for water retention. So let me walk you through my spring garden as I apply ground-up leaves to each bed. My leaf collection begins in the fall, but you can also collect leaves from neighbors. Just be sure they haven't used any chemicals on them. The state of Florida has been going through a severe drought, so as I put on the ground leaves, I want to completely soak each bed. Which leads me to a great find. I'd been thinking about getting a pump for the rain barrels, and then I ran into this camping shower kit. It has a long battery life, provides a good flow, and all I have to do is fill a 5-gallon bucket, and with my new tool, water the garden. I was ready then to begin grinding up the leaves for each bed. This $8 paint stirrer from Harbor Freight does a great job of grinding the leaves. First step was putting leaves around the overwintered bell pepper plant. It's doing so well in this bucket that I plan to leave it there and see if I can overwinter it again. Next were the yard-long beans. Ground leaves are especially good for beans because they're nitrogen fixers, so all I need to do is enrich the soil. In no time, they should begin to climb the string trellises I've set up. A little more grinding, and on to leaf mulch for the cucumbers. They're heavy nitrogen feeders, so I've paired them with sweet peas that should die out as the weather heats up, and I will succession plant more cucumbers. Then comes the berries. The blueberry bush made it over the winter, along with the blackberries. The blueberries like an acid soil, so I added ground leaf mulch, and the next day added coffee grounds to raise the pH. I gave more to the blueberries because they like a higher pH than the blackberries. The Swiss chard has come along nicely, so they were ready for ground leaf mulch. I've combined Swiss chard with bush beans, but was surprised by how many peanut volunteers have come up. Either way, they add nitrogen to the soil and a little shade cover for the Swiss chard. This year, I planted 2 beds of sweet potatoes, and as I added the ground leaves, made a discovery. Small, whole sweet potatoes were planted about the same time as my slips. The whole sweet potatoes have taken off faster than the slips. I'll keep saving the slips, but it lets me know to also save a few small sweet potatoes to plant. I've put in a trellis for the container of pole beans and chili peppers, and they should complement each other. The pole beans have begun to climb the trellis, and the clusters of chili peppers should be ready to be thinned out soon. The trellises next to them have loofah and sweet peas in one, and sweet peas and yard-long beans in the other. I put in ground leaves and just need to water them for now. I plan to later put in carrots as a below-ground companion crop to prevent soil compaction and give me 2 crops in the trellis beds. I'll add a few nasturtiums to deter pests for both. On another front, I'm beginning to think roselle is an edible weed. I planted them, and in a couple of days, every one came up. I have a number of places to put them, but for now, I just want to get in ground cover and provide basic nutrition. Next, I needed to prepare the beds for the boxcar willy tomatoes. They're near the fence where they will get morning sun and afternoon shade. I put in the ground leaf mulch and water. Then transplanted them just before sundown to give them time to adjust before the heat of the next day. In the leaf-covered long beds, I've already planted okra and cabbage that have settled in nicely. Another crop that I'm really depending on are the Seminole pumpkins. They were a little slow to start, but are putting on healthy leaves that says they're rooted and soon will start to branch out. As to fruit trees, the peach tree has put out a good number of leaves, and all the problems I had propagating mulberries may be over. Inside their containers, I can see leaves are still growing on the stems. These are very fast growers, so I'm going to take my time figuring out where to plant them so I can keep the growth in check. And finally, I put ground up leaves in with the banana plants that are heavy nitrogen feeders. Later, I came back with a layer of regular leaves to hold in water. I've noticed progress as I stuck to their feeding and water schedule for fast growth. So now everything is set and growing. And as the hot days roll in, we'll see how the plan takes shape. See you next time.